We are on here, LinkedIn. Let us know where you are tuning in from.
Steve Spiro, you're a mentor, you're a consultant, you're a business owner, but most importantly, you're a host of your own show and you're also a master connector.
Steve Spiro is one of my idols, and I love listening to everything that he does. He's such a dynamic individual.
Some of the topics I really enjoy speaking on is how to really connect, whether it be in person or through social media. I love to lead with my weaknesses. I lead with, my vulnerabilities. It's fine because I'm okay with who I am. Number two is how to go from being inward focused, self-focused, into others focused. Being willing to give and go out there and look to serve. That will attract the right things. Another one is on leveraging LinkedIn to really grow your business. You could reach a lot more people. You could broadcast a message to people that actually consented to want to know you. And then lastly, overcoming big obstacles. I love sharing. I was a shy, introverted kid, picked on, bullied, learning disabled, dyslexic, really in a dark place. I was really in a box, in a shell, and I've been able to break out of that box. And so I love being able to inspire people and really help them. So the Master Connector was born. The world is my networking event, right? I meet people all the time. My goal is to meet 3 strangers every single day.
Steve is open to meeting you. You should set up a face-to-face with Steve. One little conversation can really change your life. So I'm really excited about this show. Let me get the show graphic over here, guys. If you're joining us on LinkedIn today, we want to hear where you're tuning in from. Type Steve in the comments if you love Steve and you're ready to hear his lead into our today's topic. Type life if you're ready to choose the life that you want. We're going to get into it because really you made the choice to show up today. You make the choice to live the life that you want to live. We're excited. You make this program a better program. So get in there in the comments, network in the comments, have a lot of fun. Steve, let's frame this up. Let the people know what they're getting today.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Cameron. You're the man. So yeah, today's going to be an amazing topic. So definitely we want a lot of participation today. So please make sure you're in there, you're in the comments and so forth. But I want to talk to you about a little bit, and we have a great topic here today, live the life you choose. And, there's been a lot of pivotal moments in my journey, both business and professionally. And all of which, if I didn't say yes to, and I wallowed in my circumstances, I probably wouldn't be in the place I am today. And of course, still with a lot more to achieve. I haven't arrived by any means. But one piece of it is I couldn't get a job out of college. So I started a company, right? To make lemonade out of lemons, right? My company was closed down in New York City and was able to then shift it down. I wound up going to work for big brands and worked with some celebrities. I wound up eventually getting introduced to a very successful entrepreneur, which I could have just sort of poo-pooed that, but I said yes, and I pursued him and got a mentor in my life, which has been absolutely transformative. The economy shifted at some point when I was in the advertising industry. I got laid off and wound up getting into business development and now into technology. So that was pretty wild. I mean, I didn't expect that direction, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. I wound up taking a call through somebody who reached out to me through LinkedIn. And because of that, I became a business automation consultant, which is what are the things I do today. And then of all things, I got approved for LinkedIn Live, which was completely over my head, overwhelming to me. But the blessing in disguise was I reached out and I partnered with my man, Mr. Cameron Toth, and we created the Master Connector Show. So here we are today, right? So shy, introverted kid, now the Master Connector, an inspirational speaker. Who'da thunk, right? Who'da thunk? It's all because I said yes and chose to move forward in my life and not just wallow in the circumstances. So I know we're going to have an amazing show episode today with Russ. He's going to tell about his journey and how he, how his life is, he's chosen to really live the life that he really chooses to want to be. So awesome. Appreciate you guys. And I'll have Cameron do the proper due diligence here of introducing our guest today.
Absolutely. We want to introduce Russ Hedge to the world here. Russ Hedge is a marketing coach, keynote speaker, live streamer, podcaster, and author of Befuddled, live the life you choose. He is a positive force in today's busy, hectic, and often negative business environment. He is a master connector working in marketing and sales for over 30 years. So he's in the appropriate place, right? He has been recognized as a top salesperson in multiple industries and for his skills in networking and connecting. Russ loves to encourage, inspire, and make people smile. That's why he is known as an inspiration specialist. He has been married to his beautiful wife, Leah, for almost 34 years, has 2 adult children, Kyla and Connor, and a daughter-in-law, Gabby. His goal is to add value to people by encouraging and helping them live a more engaged and positive life. Russ is available to speak at events, one-on-one team, one-on-one or team coaching and consulting. Is here for groups looking to be inspired to move forward in life with a positive mindset and purpose. Please welcome to the show, the absolutely roasted Russ Hedge.
Woo! Hey, man, it's so great to be here, guys. I just feel honored that I made it on the Master Connector show. I've made it now.
There you go. There you go. So we want to get right into these talking points. So everyone, if you're watching the show, type 1 in the comments. We're going to get into number 1 of Russ's talking points. Type 1 in the comments if you're with us. We want to make sure we're keeping you awake and engaged here. How you live your life is a choice. Talk to us, Russ.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you both. Truly, I feel blessed that I get the opportunity to do this and be a guest on your show. And also, Steve, just like you and Cameron, I've been blessed to be able to live stream. And so, it goes way back, my story. When I was growing up, I really had a blessed childhood. I had a blessed life, but I went through a time in my college career at Oregon State where I kind of got a little distracted and a little off track in life. Part of that story is in my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. And I really learned that I was able to make choices that moved me forward in a very positive direction. And through my entire life, I have grown and learned, starting with, really back in college, starting with finding the Lord, meeting my beautiful wife, moving forward in a career and having 2 wonderful children that you read in my bio. That, my family is really the basis and foundation for my life and all that I do. And then as I've gotten older and I got into my own business here the last few years, I've really found that I get to choose who I work with, choose what I do, choose where I go. And much like Steve said in that intro, which was an amazing intro, by the way, I have made a concerted goal this year to meet with at least 1,000 new people, which is about 3 a day, which is what Steve likes to do. 3 people that I didn't know before, really connect with them and grow. That's something I choose because it makes me better. It makes life better.
Love that. Steve, I think Steve's going to jump in here. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great stuff. And Ross, it was awesome that, for you and for me, you were one of those 3 people, right? That we got to connect through LinkedIn. It's such an amazing thing. I was talking to somebody, I think yesterday or the day before, and they're like, actually, it was on a podcast, and his question was, how has LinkedIn, has it been good? Is it bad? Isn't it become kind of Facebook-like? And I'm like, the baby, but you know what? It's been a blessing in the last 2.5 years how we can connect with people and reach out and make amazing, meaningful relationships. Like yourself, Russ, it's been incredible. So we're really blessed to have you on here. But I know it's in your title right there, and you call yourself an inspirational specialist. Can you tell us? Can you expand on that a little bit, if you don't mind, please, sir?
Absolutely, absolutely. My purpose or why in life is to encourage and inspire you, all of you watching, to live a purpose-driven life of significance. And what does that mean? I want you to be a world changer. I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to do the amazing things that God created you to do. I want to inspire and encourage you to do that. And so the term inspiration specialist just has really been me my whole life. I love to encourage people. I love to inspire them. Every morning when I wake up, I'll text a few people, I'll message a few people, I'll call a few people just to tell them how much they mean to me and how much I appreciate them. Because I want to encourage people to really know that there's somebody out there that cares about them and that they have the ability to move forward and do great things. And I just think that's really important. We are better together. I believe that. And I think when we help and encourage each other, we're always going to go further.
That's great. That's awesome. And by the way, I've been seeing a little bit of activity. So if you're viewing today, we appreciate you. We're thankful for you. We're grateful for you. You're part of our community. But make sure you're in the comments and connect with each other, network with each other. That's a great place to make new connections while you're viewing the show. Hopefully you're watching it live, but if not, make sure you type out hashtag replay, right? But in the meanwhile, if you're on here live, take advantage of not only the amazing content we're going to hear from Russ today, but also the incredible community that we're continuing to build here. So please do that. But we had a question for you here, and you mentioned, in your bio, you talked about smiles, right? Can you help us understand a little bit about some of the ways that you make people smile? And I know what you've done for me. Every time I talk with you, I feel like I'm smiling ear to ear. But I'd love to hear your perspective on that, sir.
Well, it's interesting because I believe what you put out, you get back. And I've always been one of those people. I loved it. My kids were always super embarrassed when they were young because I would say hi to everybody. I say hi to everybody. I'm very personable person. I love people. I am a big hugger. But COVID was really hard on me because people like me that are affectionate and huggers and that type of things, and we got isolated away. So I learned how to do that virtually on the screen. And it's amazing what a smile will do. It's amazing how it will lift people. When my kids and I, when they were young, we would all walk together at night. And with my beautiful wife, we're all walking along. And, people would walk by and I'd say, hi, how are you doing? And these are people that are kind of ignoring you, maybe kind of a grumpy face. Maybe they're trying to look tough, whatever the, persona is. But when you say hi to them and smile, it changes their entire countenance. It changes all their entire look. They look up at you and they're like, suddenly they're kind of smiling. They're like, oh, hi. Like somebody cared about them enough to actually smile at them and make a positive comment and a greeting. And so I've just found that I just love to be positive, to greet others, to smile at others, and then watch them smile back at me.
That's tremendous. Yeah. It's funny. And, obviously we live in a little bit of different part of the world, right? We're in, Cameron and I are in the New York area. I'm in Connecticut. He's in New York and in Westchester County. And, it's a little different here in the Northeast, right? People are, in fact, I was talking to a young lady who recently moved from the Midwest to here, and she was used to, you look around and you look for eye contact and you smile or you nod. And she's in the city, in New York City, and she's like, I learned you don't look at anyone. You look down, you keep your eyes straight ahead. You don't look at anyone because it's sort of this unspoken rule. Because if you look at anyone, they're going to probably, they're a predator. They're going to probably come at you, But in general, I do find that people around the world, including New Yorkers, when you break through that veneer, that there are really amazing people, not New Yorkers included, right? We're just, we're busy, we're focused. We like to wear busy like a badge of honor. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but it's true. And I love talking to strangers and breaking space, so to speak, and breaking the ice. And, you often don't get a smile when you just look at somebody in the New York area. But if you break space and start a conversation, eventually you get that warmth. But often it's like, I use the example that's like it's like petting a dog, right? You either get one of three reactions. You get the dog that kind of, wags its tail and wants to lick your hand and, it's all excited, jump on you in a good way. And then there's the dog that, growls and, that you could tell that their hair in the back of their necks straight up and they're ready to attack. So you don't want to do anything there. And then there's some of the dogs that kind of act almost like cats where they just don't care. It just doesn't matter to them. And people kind of, I'm not calling people dogs or anything, but they're kind of like that. The reactions are similar in that, they, especially here in the New York area, people in general are, I'd say are friendly, but definitely you get some reactions. And I learned it's not me, right. but it's awesome. And I appreciate that. And I love how you make it a mission to make people smile and to start with a smile. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, amazing. Let me jump in on that because first of all, I'm a big rule breaker. So I'm not a rule follower in a positive way. I love to do all the things that people say you can't do. When I went to New York now 5 or 6 times over the years, first time that my beautiful wife and I took our kids to New York, I was going to a conference at the Brooklyn Tabernacle. It was amazing. And I learned that New Yorkers really were pretty nice if you engaged with them. And we were right in Manhattan, and we had a fabulous time because we had heard what you weren't supposed to do, where you weren't supposed to go, how you weren't supposed to treat people. And we just decided to smile and be nice to people. And they smiled and were nice back and helped us and directed us. And it was really, really a blessed time. We had such a good time. That's the reason we continue to go back to New York. We were able to go from a couple years after 9/11 all the way. Last trip, we went up in the Freedom Tower, and we're able to do all that in the 9/11 museum and all that. So it's been amazing. But the whole thing there really comes down to not worrying about the rules and just being yourself, being your authentic self to others. And really, it brings out the best in other people.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I agree with you on not breaking the rules. And
let me say, as a native New Yorker, Steve, exactly what you guys are talking about. We got our walking down the street face, and we have somebody's actually talking to me and we're making a connection face, because that getting where you're going, train, bus, taxi, whatever, you're on a mission, you got game face on, then somebody starts talking, hey, how are you? Right. But until you get there, you're looking at game face. And there's a lot of people walking down the sidewalk. So there's a lot of game faces that are staring down you. So it can look like a really serious place for sure.
I'll tell you a quick story. So back in, I'm talking years back. I was in, I went to art school. Some of you know, I went to art high school, art college. Because I'm learning disabled, that was easier for me. And I wound up getting, I had one course. It was a philosophy course, and I needed to get that course finished to get my degree. And I wound up actually needing to get an extension. So I wound up traveling with my wife. She wasn't my wife at the time, to the Upper West Side. Now, I was a little confused as to what his address was or how. So I took the subway, and I went up. And I wound up going into like the heart of Harlem. Now, Harlem has changed a lot today. We're talking 20 years ago, okay? Like a guy that looks like me or a couple that looks like me and my wife, you don't see that a lot. But I was determined, and I had that game face look on me. And at one point, somebody says to me, "Excuse me, sir, do you know where you are right now?" I'm like, yeah. But anyway, it was crazy because I had gotten off in Harlem, and it wasn't supposed to be Harlem. It was actually supposed to be a different part of Upper West Side. And I wound up having to walk, like, I don't know, probably it was 2 or 3 miles, but we made it. We were safe, and crazy situation. But it's amazing. But you're right.
It's a case of you live the life you choose, right? Because as you walk into that situation, you carry your worries, you carry your anxiety with you. And a lot of times you can run into dangerous situations in the corporate space. You can run into dangerous spaces in the street space based on the way you're carrying your facial expression and your body into it. So, creating that, and we talk about it all the time on this show, Steve, creating that positive headspace where I'm thinking the best of people. I'm thinking positivity. I'm not saying don't be street smart, because you need to be street smart going down the office hall in the building too. But certainly having this expectation of people that's hopefully get the best of people is a lot safer place to be than automatically expecting to get hit by a bus by every turn you take. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, and it's amazing what'll happen, guys. When I first subway ride I was on, I had taken my choir there from here in good old Oregon to over to New York, and we started singing, and everybody started singing along. And next thing you know, our entire subway car was all singing together, laughing and having a great time. And it's really amazing what can happen when you just kind of relax and you just show that joy in life.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Great. I love stories like that.
Absolutely. And Cameron, thank you for bringing us back on track, because I was taking us way off course there with that story. But thank you, because we are talking about living the life you choose, and I appreciate that. But I do want to ask a question here for you, Russ, and that is, how do you live your life on purpose? you mentioned at one point, living your life on purpose and with purpose.
Yes.
Could you expand on that if you don't mind, sir?
Oh my goodness, I am all about purpose. And, it's really knowing what you're all about, knowing your why, knowing your purpose. So I told you my why or my purpose. I'm a huge Simon Sinek fan, but, my why or purpose is to inspire and encourage you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. I want you to be a world changer. I want you to be a difference maker. I want to help bring that out in you. And that's what I'm all about. That is my why or my purpose. And when I have that, then I can live my life on purpose, not just with purpose, but on purpose, and have a definite goal in mind of what I'm trying to accomplish with everything I do from beyond that. Now, some people might say, well, that has nothing to do with coaching or business. No. It has everything to do with that, because I am my business. I'm what I put forward. I'm what I bring out of other people. So when I'm there inspiring and encourage others, it encourages them to do their absolute best, to be the best version of them that they can be. And so I also am a firm believer that you cannot implement a purpose you cannot define. If you don't have a definite purpose, if you've not defined what that is in your life, how are you going to implement that in your life? How are you going to live your life on purpose? So yes, I talk all about purpose. I have an entire workshop called Purpose to Profit, which talks about going from purpose to productivity to profit in a business, but it all starts with purpose in you, purpose in your business.
I love that. And some of my viewers, some of the people in our community have probably heard me say this, but one of the things that I did, and it was very fortuitous, is it was right in the beginning of 2020, just before COVID hit. And I put together a life's mission statement, which really became and has become my North Star and my purpose in life. And I think there's a lot of misperceptions, if you will, on listen, I need to have passion in what I do. I need to know that what I'm doing in my, job or career or business is going to be, I'm going to have passion in it. And listen, if you could find that, that's great. I just find that's a bit of a unicorn sometimes. But if you know that whatever you're doing in your life, whether it be your career or maybe the money you make doing whatever you do, if you're a garbage collector, but you're taking the money and the time that you have and putting that towards a purpose in your life, you're still living your life with purpose, and you can use passion in that way, right? It doesn't have to be in your career, job, or business, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So, yeah. So so I found that they're putting a mission statement together, and I love Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. It's one of my top books I talk about as well. But it is true, and if you know why you're doing something, it's easier to do it. And then I love what you say about living your life with purpose or on purpose, right? The on purpose part, right? So, my goal, as we've talked about, Russ, is to meet people, however, right? Whether it be on LinkedIn or just if I'm, at a supermarket, and I'll on purpose do things so I'm in a position where I actually meet somebody. And that's another way that you could live your life on purpose and with a purpose, not just randomly, but with something in mind, and not an agenda, not some kind of manipulative thing. But if your purpose is to touch, like I think we share this in common as well does Cameron, of being a light and inspire people, and really, then you want to make sure you're doing things on purpose to be able to accomplish that, right?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. No, I could not agree with you more. And when we have a real direction, I think when it comes all back to connection, because you're the master connector, I have always been about connection, relationship building, and just community building. And through connections, when purposeful connection drives everything you do in life, everything. And so when you're able to connect, and really, like today, I was just speaking to a good friend in Dublin, Ireland, and she's helping my wife put together some stuff and sending it over here to the States, to good old little Oregon. Every day I'm amazed through the purposeful connection, all the amazing things I'm able to do. Yesterday, my friend Usama from Cyprus calls me on the phone. Then I'm texting Ireland. Then I'm talking to somebody in Australia. It's purposeful connection that drives everything that I've been able to do, and connect with others is just creates an amazing life.
Russ, speaking of which, I was honored to be invited by you to be on your was it 200 episodes?
Yep.
Yeah, that was amazing. And so many people. I mean, I was only on for a few minutes, but so many people that you obviously have touched were on that episode. And I know you did some posts on it, and the screenshots were pretty amazing. All the different cool people and from around the world, not just around the country. So you're doing a tremendous job of that. That was pretty cool, huh? 200 episodes, huh, Russ?
I'm blessed to know so many great people. And the reason that I'm able to do all that I do is because of amazing people like you, Steve, friends of mine that, I've always said I'm a lifetime connector. And I told you this when you and I first met, because you're clearly a connector too, is that you're stuck with me. I'm your friend. I'm a lifetime connector. I don't just jump in and say, hey, great to see you, Steve. Have a good life. I want to truly connect. And that is what connection is all about. Consistency, building relationship, building community with people. That's what true connection really is.
Absolutely, 100%. It to me, I think when people they and I know you refer yourself as a master connector too. So we're in a great class together, right? We're in that master connector class. But people ask about what does master connector mean? Yeah, okay, I have a big network. There's 17,000 in my phone and 17,000 LinkedIn. Okay, that's fine. And it also is about the connecting of the dots and having the ability to put people together. But the part that's the most important part to me, and that's all good, I'm not minimizing, but the part about being able to really connect with people and hear their story and their journeys and their struggles and all those things, that to me, that's what brings flavor to life is, and listen, this is totally not what I was. I mean, this shy introverted kid, the way I got flavor and stories is I watched TV, because the TV didn't yell at me, didn't criticize me, didn't talk back to me, didn't put me down, right? Didn't bully me, right? So that was my life. But it's been a blessing to be able to, to meet people like yourself, Russ, and hear their stories. So I want to ask you a question in relation to that, and I kind of shared a little bit in my intro about kind of the things that happened in my life and how I reacted to them. I'm just curious, Cameron, I would like to know, and I know our viewers would love to know. So by the way, if you're listening, put in there, yes. If you want to know more, put in the comments, yes. If you want to hear what Russ is about to tell you, okay? He's not going to say anything until you say yes. Someone's got to say yes, okay? Anyway, so tell us more about when life happens and how you choose to react to it. What does that look like for you? And do you have any stories or examples about how you got thrown tomatoes and or you were given lemons and you turned it somehow into lemonade or whatever. Your stories, if you would.
And
there you go. Well, the yeses.
I want to shout out to Susan, Corey. They're all ready. Brandon's ready. I got my LinkedIn user who's got to do the permission through StreamYard.com/Facebook. But so many people commenting. We just want to shout them out. Jeffrey Custer, DJ Flores, great comment. Thank you, everybody, for getting in here. All right, Russ, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you to everybody. I love to see those yeses. Engagement is critical. And yes, Steve, I always say, and you've heard me say it, life happens and then you choose, right? Life happens to all of us, and then we get to choose what we do with that. We can choose to be positive or negative. I choose to be positive, make the best of everything that I'm doing. I have so many stories that I could tell you about how I've been able to move things forward because of positive choices. But I've had this theme going back years that's be an actor, not a reactor. And what does that mean? I want to act my way through life very, very authentically. I don't mean putting on an act. I mean being intentional, purposeful, and be who I am. Be the authentic Russ, right? Be the best Russ Hedge I can be. I want to act my way through life, not react to everything that's going on around me. Because when you become a reactor, you're constantly on your heels, you're constantly negative, as opposed to being a positive actor, and you're always moving forward. When I walk into a room, I immediately engage. I don't wait. So that helps me too, right? If anybody's really nervous about going into a crowd, let me tell you something that will solve that. I've never been a nervous person, but I do this all the time. I walk into a crowd, I immediately walk up to Steve. Hey, how's it going? I engage, I talk to Cameron, I talk to whoever's there, especially the people that look like they're scared to death and they don't want to talk to anybody. I walk specifically up to them. Just left a networking event in between all the stuff I've been doing today. Been a crazy day. And I just left that before I came here to do this show. And I went up to a couple of people that weren't talking to anybody, and I talked to them because I want to be an actor, not a reactor. And so I think whatever you want to do with your life, whatever the life you choose is, be an actor, not a reactor, make amazing things happen. I could tell you so many stories, but that's my theme.
Love that, Russ. That is amazing. I've never heard it said like that, and maybe you've said it and I just didn't hear it, but I heard it this time. React. Be a let's see.
An actor, not a reactor.
An actor, not a reactor. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Because listen, attitude is just a decision, right? We all are going to have things. It's not about what happens to us. There's always going to be something that happens to us. It's how we react to that, right? And granted, I know you're saying be an actor, not a reactor, but it's that the response, so to speak, to that. And so I'm sure that you have hundreds of stories you could tell on specifically how you've had challenges thrown at you, but you responded to it. And I don't know, is there anything specific you can share about any fun story that the audience, our viewership would love to hear?
Oh my goodness. I have so many, but like I said, life happens and then you choose. So after being an actor, when life hits me, I choose to do amazing things. Like I was laid off from the job that I was on in the beginning of COVID. Right. And I was like a lot of people, and I really felt like God had positioned me in my mindset and my brain. I was okay with it. I kind of figured that's what was happening, but then you know what? Then I chose what I was going to do. And so then the action I took after that happened was to start my own business, to move forward, to start meeting people all over the world, reaching out. And I have developed some of the best friendships of my life with people that I've never been in the same room with, people that would do pretty much anything for me and I would do pretty much anything for them, because I moved forward and I made the choice to make the best out of what was going on. And I was able to, within a year, replace my income with my business just because I put my foot forward and I did that. And that in itself was an amazing thing, but I had to actually choose, act, and move forward.
That's amazing. That's great. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, and I knew you had some stories in there, and I know Cameron's on here. He's probably backstage for a moment, but he's got a great story about how he was in the event industry and how that industry got hit super hard from COVID, especially up in the Northeast, and he just reacted. He responded, right, and boom, he starts BizDev Live, and boom, then not long after that, we connect and we do the Master Connector show, and his business is event staffing catering business is growing and booming as well, but he chose to react, right? We all kind of figure out, and again, I know I'm kind of contradicting a little bit, I don't mean to, but responding to what happened, and not just wallowing
in a positive way.
And certainly there's things we could do proactively too to help avoid some of those challenges, but sometimes who would have known, who would have thunk that COVID would have kind of done what it did. Now, thank God, by the way, I'll be on a plane tomorrow. I am so grateful. No mask. Yay. It's crazy to see all the videos I've been seeing on LinkedIn about the videos from planes with, I'll probably do one as well where we'll be celebrating no masks. And I'm hoping it's not even in the airport either. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, it's pretty awesome. But Russ, we really appreciate it. I know you I think you said you had a hard stop. So we're trying to be respectful of everyone's time. We appreciate everybody. This has been an incredible show. You're a blessing. Russ, can you tell the viewers, our amazing viewership, our community, how they can best reach you? And if you have any call to action, if there's something you want to give them, please let them know, and we'll turn it over for you for a minute, and then we're gonna end this with the way we do with Countdown to Crush It. So I'll turn it to you, Russ, sir.
All right. Well, listen, I'll tell you really quickly. I love people. I love to connect with people. Go to russhedge.com/contact. Schedule time directly on my calendar. I want you to be one of those 1,000 plus people that I connect with this year. russhedge.com/contact. And also, russhedge.com has all my connection links. That's my website. You can get all the connection links for me on social media, my email, my phone number, everything. And on there is a free download of how to successfully transform your business in 3 simple steps. It's all about connecting. It's all about connection and building relationships and building community. It's free and we can move on from there, but I would love to connect with you. And I just appreciate being here today, guys. You guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you. All right. So we got one thing we want to say to everybody. You are amazing. You make this show what it is. We're looking forward to next week. And if Russ Hedge will give us the space, we'll be nice and promote the next person that's going to be on our show, which is Steve Olinsky, right? We got him coming up next week, Steve. And we're excited about talking about overcoming misperceptions, reinventing yourself, which I think, you were talking about, my journey. Everybody's had to pivot at some point in their life. And so how do you actually go through it? I was talking with the guest I had on BizDev Live today, talking about the strength of a personal brand versus the brand that you represent and the power that allows you to have. If you have a strong personal brand, you can represent any brand, right? We see it all the time, actors representing different brands, different product promotions. So focusing on that personal brand. But what happens when you're dealing with misperceptions, or you need to reinvent yourself because you've branded yourself down maybe a wrong path? So that's what we'll be talking about next week. As always, we're going to lead ourselves out here with our countdown to crush it. Steve, I'll let you close it out.
Absolutely. Well, again, Russ, you have been amazing. One of our, in my opinion, one of our best guests yet. Incredible and energy and just a heart you could see. And as you know, Russ, and our community knows, we are all about being the light, uplift, and inspire. So make sure today is Wednesday. It's Hump Day. We're right in the middle of the week, 1 o'clock, 1:30 Eastern Standard. Make sure for the rest of this week, you be the light, you uplift and encourage somebody. You don't know. I mean, I did a post today about getting no-showed. And Cameron, I thank you for posting your comment on that. How everyone's got situations, right? They may have no-showed you, but maybe they're going through something really horrible in their life. And so give people grace, reach out. Don't just make assumptions that, because they're a jerk. Maybe something's going on. So reach out to somebody, be a blessing, be the light, and we will make a difference in this world big time. So we appreciate you all. Come join us next week. We're going to count it down. Russ, please join us here as we count down with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Russ Hedge! Well, have an amazing week, everybody. Russ, thank you so much for doing this with us. We had a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys.
Audience, you're amazing. The comments are flowing in. Thank you so much for being here for us. You make this show what it is. We appreciate you, and we will see you next week.
Watch the video.
Steve Spiro, you're a mentor, you're a consultant, you're a business owner, but most importantly, you're a host of your own show, and you're also a master connector.
Steve Spiro is one of my idols, and I love listening to everything that he does. He's such a dynamic individual.
Some of the topics I really enjoy speaking on is how to really connect, whether it be in person or through social media. I love to lead with my weaknesses. I lead with, my vulnerabilities. It's fine because I'm okay with who I am. Number 2 is how to go from being inward focused, self-focused, into others focused. Being willing to give and go out there and look to serve. That will attract the right things. Another one is on leveraging LinkedIn to really grow your business. You could reach a lot more people. You could broadcast a message to people that actually consented to want to know you. And then lastly, overcoming big obstacles.
I love sharing. I was a shy, introverted kid, picked on, bullied, learning disabled, dyslexic, really in a dark place. I was really in a box, in a shell, and I've been able to break out of that box. And so I love being able to inspire people and really help them. So the Master Connector was born.
The world is my networking event, right? I meet people all the time. My goal is to meet 3 strangers every single day.
Steve is open to meeting you. You should set up a face-to-face with Steve. One little conversation can really change your life.